This doesn't seem like it should be a problem. I put food in my oven, any food, it cooks.
Yeah, but Bess... I mean, the cannery cooks in sealed cans. Exact time, exact temperature.
The food swells during cooking, bursting the cans, so change the time or the temperature.
There's no controls for that. I'd have to dig into her guts, rig all... Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
This doesn't seem like it should be a problem. I put food in my oven, any food, it cooks.
Yeah, but Bess... I mean, the cannery cooks in sealed cans. Exact time, exact temperature.
The food swells during cooking, bursting the cans, so change the time. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but note... Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable? Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through. I understand. Your business is your own. Outsiders are a rare sight in the Vale. If you are a freelancer, then I have use for you. There is pay to be earned, or supplies to...
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. I do not attend the good vicar's sermons as often as I should, but yes, I am a scientician, born and raised. And my faith tells me that hard work and difficulty fortify our spirit. Well, this is hard work I ask of you, but there is a reward at the end of it. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice, lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. We are doing our very... I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into the people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. It's our problem. My hope is that by cutting off, speak to their... Of course.
Are you setting off for the... I mean, if that...
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot...
Great!
Well, I...
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Are you out of your mind? You just killed him. A favor? You just made me an accomplice to murdering my boss. I can't. I need to leave. You killed Mr. Thompson for talking down his nose at me? You got a real twisted sense of chivalry, you know that? Let's just move on. Yeah, huh?
What? Something's not right. Prisoners! I need cover!
That's the last of them! Yeah, huh?
smell something.
Look out!
Hear that?
Move along, stranger. We don't want... Yeah. Go ahead and... If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down. Whatever your trouble. I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt?
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? Reed's dead? Excuse me if I don't shed a tear. I'm not exactly surprised he'd hire someone to cut off our power either. That's exactly his style. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and I trust you.
Yeah, huh? just to follow me around before he left the cannery. Where are we headed?
Oh, didn't see you there. Whoa.
Are you, are things...
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I'm... Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if... Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacers?
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. Would you?
Ready patrol initiated.
That'll be easy enough.
Processing. Beginning. Unexpected searching.
Not real. You're not real. Not real. You're not real. Get away! You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts, opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. You mean, why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will... You know, you remind me of myself. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, there's a behavior control terminal in the other room. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my pass...
happens to the veil? Something you need? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. Thomas always listened to me. Never said I was odd, never tried to... I just want to think of him like that. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants.
Unexpected.
Look out!
Invest.
Look at us! Something you need? Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Sorry, I didn't... Really? The deserters are gonna be alright when they got power, but...
Processing.
Here they come!
The error.
That's the last of them!
Do you hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispered. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Yeah, huh?
What's eating you? The tail. Forgot.